I have tried every possible tillering method, and I came up with one, and today I'm revealing to you what I call the magical tillering method. I wrote all about it in my book, and it's underwhelming because it's so easy to get a really good shooting bow. If you want to struggle in tillering, do it all by eye. Try to visualize what it should look like, and then just slowly tweak it for a couple of days, and you can get a great bow. But if you want guaranteed success, this is how to do it. My original idea around this method was, how can we make this as easy as possible? And what I found out through some extensive testing is that where the bow rests with a string on it is the same how it bends with it pulled back with this design. What that means is we can do all the tillering right here at rest, and we don't have to draw it. Now, once you remove wood, you must exercise the limbs to give it a new memory. Wood has a memory to it, and so if you just remove wood, nothing's gonna change. That's why you wanna pull it back 25 times or draw it on a tillering tree or tillering stick. But once it's exercised, you can retake your measurements. I've done this with multiple bows and found that if you're precise with those measurements and you have your positive tiller at its brace height, it's gonna shoot good. Now with this style, it'll be like a 67 or 68 inch bowstring. With this design, here's the one that I've completely finished already. It has a 1/2 inch limb thickness in the center of the limb, and that is a 48-pound bow. Just as a rough rule, keep it above a 1/2 inch if you want more than 50 pounds, below 1/2 inch for less. I'm gonna try to do this one at 40 and I'll give you that measurement. But tillering is gonna be a little different here. I'm gonna tiller by using some measurements. Okay, so here's the setup. I'm gonna go every 5 inches and I'm gonna put it in the same spot. So 5 inches, and then we'll go out to 10, we'll go out to 15, and we'll go out to 20. Then we'll repeat that on the other limb. This is a tillering method I've been toying around with all types of bow designs. From here, I'm gonna measure on the 5 inch mark. Now you want to be on the exact spot. So I put the left end of the tape measure on the inside, and then I'll go to the inside of this mark as well so that you're in the same spot. But here I've got, and you want to be precise, 5 and 9/16. And here I've got on the inside 5 and 7/16. Okay, so that right there at the 5 inch mark is telling me I have a negative tiller. I'll continue on with each mark. And what I'm looking for is that the marks are the same all the way along. Once I get it the same all the way along, I'll adjust the upper limb only. If it's the same at the 5, but it's not the same at the 20, the stiffer limb just needs material removed near that 20 inch mark. As you may know, my tool of choice is my cabinet scraper, low quality one that I've had for 12 years, but you can just resharpen it forever. The one thing to pay attention to is the left and right side of your limb to make sure you're removing material evenly. So the most precise way is calipers, 0.47, 0.45. That's pretty close, but what I can do is just tilt this slightly to knock down more of the side with 0.47 and keep those even. It's not too difficult to get 1/10 or 20 thou off, and then you can start having some limb twist problems. And if you don't have calipers, you can use a tape measure. But I will say I found this one on Amazon. It's like $4 and it's good enough to measure this stuff. It doesn't have the nice features of the metal ones where you can lock it in place, all that. But just to check stuff and just have I bought 4 of them so I can just have them everywhere and I always have them on hand. I found that to be useful. And then I keep my nice pair for when I'm doing super precision stuff. My limb was bending evenly throughout. It was just needing more off this limb. So I'm doing full passes. Then you end up with these good guys. 20 passes later, let's test it again. I built out this tillering tree, but you can also do it with a tillering stick. This is a 2x4 with some screws screwed in, and you do the same thing. I actually really enjoy screw it right into the workbench, and then you can put your bow up here. And then when you pull it along the screws, it stays in place. This is looking good. It's not supposed to be an even bend like a normal self bow, I guess. Because of the reflex, it's not gonna visually look like a typical bend. That's where the math really helps, because it'll look like it's bending less in the middle where we reflexed it the most. And that's okay. I think that helps with the speed to fling the tips forward further and sooner. So the thickness of the limbs as well as this distance is gonna matter more for you. Before you retake your measurements, you wanna exercise the limbs, which is just gonna be drawing it. You can do it like that. You can grab it and pull it. You can also put it over here and draw it down. I fully expect some people who will build this will probably have a setup like this, get it dialed in, using their calipers, checking everything, spend 2 days on the tillering to get it perfect, where there's gonna be other people who take this to a belt sander and do the entire tillering on the belt sander and call it good. Not one way is better than the other. I do both depending on the bow I'm making and depending on my goals for the bow, but I'd like to present you many different options so that you can make it your own. But because we kept the limbs pretty even the entire way, and because of the 8-inch fade out, we have a natural tiller in the bow already. Mostly we just need to remove wood on the outside. Okay, so 45 pounds at like 21 inches. I want to remove some more material, but it's looking really good. Okay, sweet. 2 minutes of removing wood gave me slightly positive tiller actually. We've got some good news. It's tillered really nicely. So here's a sneak peek shot. The handle's still terrible as far as not being finished out yet. So we'll do that. But I like to shoot it as soon as I can. To finish out the handle, I'm gonna round the shelf so the arrow only touches in one spot. I'm also going to round this a little bit more, smooth everything out, get it feeling proper in my hand. Proper is personal opinion, but this is how I like it at least. We'll do final sanding. The back of the bamboo, you can lightly sand that to make it smooth and look how you would like it to. I'm gonna round over the corners gently and sand everything down. Then I'll do maker's mark, spray finish. Now that you have the positive tiller, the final step is to shoot your bow. And if it shoots smooth and it checks out and you like it, you're done. If not, double check your measurements, exercise the limbs, and retiller it as needed. Okay, for finishing the bow. I'm not gonna go super deep here. YouTube, Kramer Ammons finishing a bow or refinishing a bow, and you will see some videos dedicated just to finishing. But the simplest thing to do is just to get a spray-on polyurethane. Just get a can of this stuff and spray the bow. That's the simplest way. The idea is you want to use finishes that are good on high contact. You want to use something that's waterproof, and it's basically any other type of wood finish. Additionally, you can write on the bow what you want. I often will write the draw weight. I'll do it at the draw length. So this one is 48 pounds at 28 inches. And then I do my signature. You can also put on the AMO if you want, which is for a long bow going to be 3 inches longer than the string. So technically this would have a 71-inch AMO with a 68-inch bowstring. Now in the next video, we're gonna shoot this thing, but I do want to say a big thank you to everyone who's picked up my book so far. And if you're building this bow, thank you so much. A 5-star review on this book would mean a lot to me if it's adding the value that you expected. All right, I'll see you guys on the range.